Happy Father's Day. Oh my, June 21st, 2020. Happy Father's Day, Papa. And to all the papas out there, whether you're a papa to fur babies like we are, I am, or if you've got little ones of your own, or maybe you're just being the father to yourself, right? Yep. Sometimes we got to step into that role too. So here we are, the Trisbrina Effect, coming at you live on a Sunday from Austin, Texas. And we've got some sharing that wants to come through. We've got some things to tell the tribe that we've been experiencing. It certainly has to do with, if you read the headline post above, been some interesting things, and Sabrina's got a little something for you. But before we jump into all that, we just wanted to get this party started with a happy Father's Day.
That's right. I know on Mother's Day, I remember years ago being with a group of people on Mother's Day and not having had children. I was like, oh, I'm not really a part of this. And I remember this beautiful teacher said to me that it's the quality of wanting to nurture, wanting to mother, wanting to caretake, and wanting to teach that's really celebrated in the mother. And she shared so beautifully with me about how much I love to caretake, I love to take responsibility for, and how I see so many people as my children. She was like, you of all people get to have a happy Mother's Day. And so we were talking about that today with Tristan, all the little kids that he's taught, but all the grown-ups that he's taught.
Yeah, it's a state of, I'll say, giving or generosity, if you can be in that connection where you can provide for others, when you can hold space for others, not necessarily just as the parent, but as that true friend. You know, I bet there's many of the folks listening to this, either live or on the replay, that you had such an amazing relationship with your dad, you know, where you do or you did. And I can tell you that I really had a beautiful relationship with my father towards the end of his physical life here on planet Earth Soul School. His name is Peter. And to you right here, right now, Peter Consciousness, I love you so much, man. And there's some things that you're aware of that are happening in my life, and you and I are connecting very deeply on this Father's Day. We went for a little ride together, didn't we, today? And I could tell that you were with me, and you were having a freaking ball. So it's really cool to be able to have those relationships with our fathers. And I want to tell you this, if you've got anything wonky, whether they're physically here or not, you can always clean that up.
Yeah.
You can always extend love. You can do the work on yourself and get to it. Because me and my dad, we were kind of estranged for well over a decade. We didn't really talk too much. And eventually we got back to the phone calls. And then there was more, I love you, Dad. And then it kept growing. And then this one over here is like, we're going to see your father. He lived in Las Vegas. And I'm like, nah, we don't need to. We talk on the phone. It'd been 20 years.
I had never met him.
20.
Face to face.
20. I'm so glad that we went, because within a year after that, he had left the body. So amazing full circle stuff happening there. Also have an amazing stepfather, and a shout out to you, Papa George, if you happen to be watching this. Love you so much. You gave me such an incredible life. I got to grow up in Malibu, California because of you and Mom. Mm-hmm. And I got to ride my motorcycles and go surfing and have great education, and got to just live such an incredibly beautiful environment. So thank you, and happy Father's Day. So just want to put it out there.
So I'm going to do a fresh start.
Yeah. Hi.
What's the
Myra,
title?
Diane. How to drop your worries on the doorstep of love, especially when you feel like everything is falling apart.
All right, I'm going to do a fresh start, guys. If you know what that is, great. And if you don't,
you'll learn.
That's okay. So,
I'll do it with you.
All right.
1, 2, 3. That's our fresh start move.
Welcome, everyone, to Trisbrina.
Hello.
And we're coming at you live to talk about how do you drop your fears and worries on the doorstep of love, even when you're freaking out, even when you're scared, even when everything's falling apart, because that's an experience that we're having right now, and then we're having a lot of people reach out to us, and so many people. We'll tell you the details about how our lives are falling apart in just a moment. But a lot of people right now are experiencing, my job doesn't exist as it did before,
Right.
or maybe my job doesn't exist. I have a lot of friends because I've taught Zumba and different dance and fitness, and the gyms are closing, like closing for good, or they're just not having classes.
They opened and closed again.
And they don't have a way to have an income. Well, 24-hour fitness went bankrupt.
A lot of companies are going under. It's freaky, it's scary, and you've probably seen it where you live too.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing? How are we navigating this?
Yeah, or I was doing this as my main job, but now that the world has shifted and is different, I think I would like to make some other choices so that when this happens again, which it probably will, I will have more options, and that can really
security.
We feel like things are falling apart when things are changing.
Yes. Now, we're going to go into some beautiful things to share with you guys. There's a dream that took place that will be shared. There's also something going on in our business that's been really interesting, and we're navigating that. But before we get into that stuff, I think you should know a little bit of a backstory about how we got to where we are today. And that is, we are 100% online as a business, Satori Method. We are coming at you live from the comfort of our home.
Yeah.
We are completely an at-home business, or at anywhere, although we're not traveling at all at this time. Nobody really is or should be, it seems. But our business goes wherever we go. Mm-hmm. And we wanted that security because we lost our salary. We had a very stable income. This was probably, I don't know, maybe 7 years now at least, that it was completely taken away from us. And we won't go into all the details of exactly what happened, but let's just say this. We were scrambling to try to figure out what to do. Income went, and we were scared. And we realized that that's exactly the same thing that's happening right now. And we know what that's like, but we also know how you can get out of that with what we've learned about going live and having a business at home.
And we really enjoy, it's a choice, however you want to mold and create your life. We like not having the headaches of like employees and a staff. We try to keep things really, really simple. And we love that. We love that. We have contractors. We have people that help us with things. But we love our lives. We love sharing and teaching and the way that we have it set up. So what's happening for us right now is on Thursday, I went to send out an email for a partner that I had told people, if you follow us, you know, Deborah Poneman, I wanted to share about her master classes, and I started getting emails that, hey, you sent these emails and none of the links work. I can't get her ebook. And very long story short, like the company that we uses a company, and I'm just going to use my lingo. It broke. the server broke.
Hardware failure.
We cannot, after 4 days, we cannot reach any of our email. We can't email any of you guys to let you know what's going on. 5 years of writing, and I don't love to write. I write really slow, and I've crafted all these emails that I go back through, and I use pieces, and I find pieces, and I've made things for partners, and they sort of live inside of the software. Gone. They're called funnels that I've created, where if somebody wants like a little book, and then you say, hey, you might like this, you might like this, you might like this. The
automated.
Gone. Not only that, everything on our website that you would opt in, like, I want that free meditation, you can't get it.
Broken.
So, and we have no answers. We have nothing. It's not like, hey, it might take a week, but we're going to get it back. We have nothing, just no data whatsoever. And for me, I have always felt comfortable when I feel in control. I had eating disorders. I was a perfectionist. Control is how I have managed anxiety. This is like before all the therapy and all the work on myself and all the meditation. And I could feel a lot of that a lot of that coming up. Completely nauseous, not in my belly, can't sleep, sweating when I'm sleeping, all of these things that I know I'm using my tools. I catch it and bring it back. So it's like constantly reframe
Mental
that,
kung
reframe that.
fuing her
I was
booty off.
I was exhausted from mental kung fuing. And here's the cool part about it is remembering why at such a young age all I wanted to do was sort of know who I am and learn to be at peace, because I had a tendency to have that anxiety. It runs in my family. A lot of, what do you call it?
My family too.
What do you call it? You take pills for your...
Antidepressant.
A lot of antidepressants. There's even a lot of, there's suicide in my close family. So...
Are you okay? Everything's okay, right?
Everything's great.
You're good? Okay.
So I felt like I came in with a tendency, and one of the lessons I have in life is to...
Getting love.
Thank
Sarah
you.
Green.
Hey, Sarah, is to know how to choose happiness. And I really saw from this, all of this anxiety, that little girl that was so hard on herself, and that the place that I went to for comfort and solace was playing. I would play at theater, and I would play at dance, and when I was pretending not to be me. So I got to see a lot of insights about how when I was performing, I was really tapping into that charisma, which is the light within you shining out. And I was more comfortable doing that than just being a person.
Yeah.
So
you shifted identity, right?
yeah, and we're helping a lot of people right now, and even more so getting ready to be more confident and comfortable and charismatic on camera, and feeling these feelings helps me help them more.
Right.
So I was like, okay, that's a really good insight. And then just this feeling of, I think I just got set back 5 years in my business. Out of my control is what I feel like. And then I even had, like, the mob just broke both my legs. Like, there's all of this, like, I don't know what to do. I can't do anything.
Can anybody relate? I think a
Yeah.
lot of people are going through this right now, losing jobs, things closing down, not knowing what to do,
Yeah.
not getting, we're waiting. And so there's this global, and we're obviously part of that, plus we've got this micro experience happening that is probably very similar to people's businesses that are feeling locked down and shut down as well. So the good news is we're working the tools, because the best teacher / mentors to follow, in my opinion, are the ones who actually walk the talk and they take their own medicine, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you got big all of a sudden, didn't you?
Yep.
You're a big girl.
Yeah.
So we are applying, as Sabrina's saying, doing our breath work, our qigong, our movement, and I've watched this sweet soul slip in and out of this identity. And when she is in movement, she is in this full body prayer, and there's just joy beaming, and all the drama drops. And that's so important to get back to that receptive mode where you're back connected to flow. No matter what's going on the outside. And one of our quotes, if you will, or a meme that we're commonly saying is flow, even when things on the outside aren't flowing.
Yeah.
And that is a reality, because this is an inside job no matter what. And this might be the most important part, if you get triggered and you start looping in that, your energy, we're 100% energy people, energy is everything, you start emitting a vibration. You're basically broadcasting, let's just call it what it is, you're putting energy out there, and the universe is like, oh gosh darn it, I got to serve up more of that for you now.
Yep.
You've got to catch that stuff and do the U-turn and get back to joy.
That's right. Because every thought,
Sooner the
every
better.
thought is a prayer. So, and then of course I could use that to create even more anxiety. Oh no, I'm really upset about this. I'm creating more negativity.
Right,
Oh, no.
right. Now you can react to your reaction. Yay for square that stuff right there. But you know what? That is
So
the
true.
MO for a lot of minds in the world that haven't been taught how to pivot. This whole thing's about pivoting, And we'll get to dropping the drama on the doorstep of love in a moment, because that's key. But if you don't make those shifts, if you don't catch it, and that it flies in and it hooks onto you, and you go into the drama wheel, enjoy the ride, buddy, because you ain't getting off real quick. If you catch it, though, and you refute it, like, wait a minute, how many times have I been through a similar thing? What always gets me out? Connect, align, remember, and get optimistic. We've been talking about an optimism diet lately, right? We said, like, for 48 hours. Well, we're extending that. That was like a week or two ago. I think this is like the lifetime optimism diet. Can you find, through the catalyst, suffering is grace in disguise, can you find the amazing doors that are about to open for us, for you,
Right.
if you just lean in with love and find that connection to there's something bigger going on. You're not a freaking victim.
Yep.
Stop reacting and remember, nothing's against you. Nothing's trying to hurt you. Nothing's trying to get you. You are so loved. You are being nudged, bumped, kicked, knocked hard if you need it into a better position. We are so blessed. So blessed.
When you claim that.
I'm
Right.
claiming it.
Yeah.
I'm so
I
grateful.
saw the ridiculousness of rolling over in bed and my mind scanning this software, looking at all the things that I won't be able to have, like reaffirming. It was just worse and worse and worse. Oh my gosh, I just grew that list of 900 people and I was just about, seriously, to launch something to them tomorrow. And now I've lost all of the emails that I've written, every single email, but what good is that? It's 3:00 in the morning, right? So I really was just, I started out just saying, okay, it's in the middle of the night. What's here right now? I'm holding the hand of the man I love. I'm listening to 2 little fur babies snoring. There's a fan blowing. I can get some air. I'm in a soft bed, and I just started talking about mundane things that were beautiful, that were actually in the now, because that's all that was happening right then in the now. And I drifted off to sleep, and it was like that waking sleep, if you have that, where I started to dream. But in the dream, I was also the viewer and the narrator and the observer, as well as the character I was watching. So it was like I was on a TV show and I was watching myself like that. And here's what this situation was: is I was walking down a street early in the morning, and I was carrying this little white box. The box was maybe like the size of 3 sandwiches stacked on each other, and it had a lid on it, and it was my box of worries, and I was carrying them around, and the me watching me knew that they weren't inside of me. I was carrying around the box of worries, and I'm walking down this street, and it felt like Georgia, right? Because the houses were really far apart and beautiful, and all of the houses were out of focus, and then there was one house.
She's a very vivid dreamer. It's almost like a movie.
Yeah, it is.
She's in a movie.
So I'm walking, and there's this one house, and it's white, and it has like a long sidewalk up to it, and then steps and a porch. And I don't see where it stops and starts. I'm just aware of the door. And I said to myself, because I was the only one in the dream, was the only one in this world where I was, like, what is this? Whose house is this? And the me watching said, it's the house of God. And I was like, oh, I'm here with my box of worries. And then I remember thinking, that's what they used to say back in church, that it was the house of God. And I was aware that I had picked that up from my childhood in church and that I was inserting it in the
So
dream.
you're literally aware of your dream while you're dreaming it?
I'm aware of the dream while I'm dreaming it, and I'm aware that I'm picking up little things from my childhood and bringing them in.
Who are you? That's
So-
multi-layered.
Yeah. And so I walk up to the deck of the house of love, house of God, and there was the regular God's house had a doormat, and it just said, welcome. And it was one of those brown ones that you wipe your shoes off of. It was just regular. And I put my worries on the doormat. And the me that was watching said something like, yes, bow down to love. Bow down to the love. Let it go to love. And then I was thinking about all the Hindu religions that we had studied, and bowing down and pranaming and surrendering everything that is false. And so I put my box of worries on God's doorstep, and I rang the bell, and I ran. And I ran. And what that, the narrating me was saying, faith. My faith is I place my box of worries on the doorstep of love, and I leave freely. And I have the faith that it is all taken care of. And I don't have to have the box of worries anymore. I can let go and know that it is all being taken care of, that nothing happens to me, it happens for me. I just don't yet understand the point.
That's so beautiful. And you know what's so amazing is even when it feels like everything around is falling apart, the ability to trust enough in love and put it down is a great transformation, because the controller inside of us, that fear-based reactor, doesn't want to surrender the drama when we're so locked in.
What if
Especially
God
when it's,
didn't answer the door?
right. Especially when it's about survival. And for us, just for those of you who are popping in right now, our business has been going through something that feels almost like oxygen being pulled out. And when the oxygen's pulled out, it feels like you can't breathe. And so what's happened in this day and age is communication happens through many channels. Social media is one, but it's hard to really connect specifically with individuals that you build a specific relationship around. So we're doing it right now. Obviously, we have this channel open and we're using it, but email's like the phone, right? The ability to be able to get on the phone and tell someone what's going on. And so we haven't had that. So for Sabrina's breakthrough, it's so gorgeous. I'm experiencing one too that I just want to piggyback right on, because I'll tell you, a year ago, because I went through it, do you remember I almost threw the computer through the wall when we were moving from, it's called a server. We were moving from one server to another, and all the things were broken, and they kept telling us it was us, and it turns out it wasn't. And I was so, I felt like people were controlling our outcome. And in this case, it could feel like it's out of control. We don't know why. Like, there are these things called APIs. I won't get too techno-garby here, but we've built all these connections, like in your car, all these electrical components connect so the car runs. And if one wire is broken, the whole car is broken. So this one main wire, pipeline of email, breaks these three other things. And customer support and all this stuff. And I'm a different person right now. I'm trusting in that connection to God, that this is happening for us, not against us. You said something earlier today that I loved. You said the person who is having the problem can't be the same person solving it. You said something like that.
Oh, yeah. You can't be in the problem and in the solution at the same time. You can't.
You can't be in two vibrations like that.
Because the one having a problem is like, I want that door to open. And I still do. I really hope that they can get my data off that server. That sounds really good. But you can't see the possibility, right? And I think that's where I just am really loving this word, faith. It's not it's not an airy fairy faith.
It's not yet.
It's not like I'm just gonna have faith and just sit here and twiddle my thumbs. No,
hope for the best.
no, it's faith that I'm going to really tune in and make every decision I make from love and expansion. And when I catch myself reacting, I'm gonna just keep remembering. Wow, I'm not sure why this is happening, but I'm gonna keep choosing love and keep just. All I can say is it's love I don't yet understand the bigness of. I can't wait till I look back and go, oh my gosh, I thought that was a punishment, and look what it did, because that always happens. That always happens, like with your back, with so many things. You look back and that's what you say, wow, if that contraction hadn't happened, this expansion wouldn't happen. And I even just the little insights of, we're about to move into our business of really trying to help people with the at home.
Yeah.
And feeling those feelings new sort of renews my compassion. Like, you can have compassion and then, but if you're like having diarrhea and throwing up the night before and somebody says, I'm sick to my stomach, you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I was just doing that last night. Like, it's a little bit more fresh. And so in that way, I'm grateful, and I'm really grateful that that I can have the faith to put my box of worries down. And I might have to go put some more boxes there. I might be like Amazon Prime for a while.
Just keep on dropping the boxes off at the door.
I might keep going. God's going to open the door and
You're
go,
like, thanks a lot. It's so cool. We wanted to share this part of our journey with you guys to inspire you, remind us that everything happens. And it sounds so friggin' cliche. I hear it coming out. Everything happens for a reason. But you know what? That reason's only going to serve you if you use it. If you shift state and lean in and allow the energy to do its thing. You're just a navigator. You're surfing the energy wave. And it's up to you how you ride it. And you can ride it and guide it into a better position. That's what I know. And I can only speak from this level of confidence because we've hit these things before. Yeah. I've had to surrender many times. You know what we're talking about. You know the times that you were going through that grind and you got to the other side of it and you look back now and go, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Yeah, it sucked, but look at what was good.
Yeah.
Find those things that were good, the choices that you did make. I bet that they were always more expansive, more trust, more love, more clarity. But we are not sitting on our butts twiddling our thumbs like you said. We're super proactive. And I want to bring this point in. Yes, trust. Yes, give your box of worries up. Surrender to the divine. Whatever your thing is, align to love.
That is so beautiful.
It is very beautiful, but you got to do your part. You know, you were given 2 legs, 2 arms, a mouth, eyes, and a freaking brain, right? So do the research. Look at the options. Weigh the pros and the cons. Then check in and reflect. Which one feels more aligned? Yes, you could just totally go Mr. Miyagi, which for me, when I say that, I just mean like, he's just in the moment. He's just like right here, right now. And I think that's beautiful. But we're in a very dynamic world, especially with business. And so we do need to be looking and checking options. So I'm making calls to some of my best friends that run 7-8-figure businesses. Like, hey man, like we need to make a pivot. What do you think? And people are opening doors for us. They're creating options. They're like, you could try this. We could help you in this way. And so there's all of this stuff happening. Yeah. I'm just so excited, Sabrina, because we said, how can I serve? We said, be love, serve love, make a difference. That's our mantra. You don't think the divine's going to have your back when you're saying yes to being and giving love and expanding and helping others? You are so the portal. If you can be that energy, just be the freaking conduit. Don't judge the scenario. Be the freaking portal for love.
Yeah.
That's my mic drop. Boom.
Yep. One other opportunity, or one other thing in my box of worries that I dropped off at the door was, who messed up?
Oh, who done it?
Who
did it?
Who didn't do something?
Michael, did you do it?
Did Michael?
Yeah, our buddy from Austin. Did you do it, Michael?
Like, because it's so removed that I feel like, well, I didn't do it. Who did it? Should somebody apologize? Is somebody going to get in trouble? Is somebody sorry?
Whose fault is this?
Right.
I want to blame someone.
Yeah. And just how, what a waste of time that is. Yeah. And to do something that we talk about a lot is, in this moment, I can love to my capacity as like just a human, just a personality, or I can be like connected to my soul and my being and say and love with the frequency of source. And source doesn't need anyone to be sorry. They can say they're sorry. It doesn't matter. I have to love anyway.
Yep.
You know, and that's been
ain't being done to you.
Yeah.
Done for you.
Yeah, because you know, you can, if you studied a lot of law of attraction, then you can start saying, man, what did I do to create this horrible thing?
This?
You always want to think, what did I do to create this horrible thing when you don't understand it?
I must be broken.
But if we won the lottery, we would say, what do we do to create this
very
great
good karma?
thing?
God loves us.
And to just
bunch up. You know what, people.
And it's not numbing out. So for so many years, we would just go, so.
Drop the mind.
You know, and I could do that. I can shut down.
I'm ascending. You're shutting down. I'm ascending. Watch. Here's what I'm getting. Ascension. This isn't happening to me.
What I think when you feel a lot, and I feel a lot, and that is such a gift when you put your box of worries at the doorstep of love, right? So it's a big responsibility to feel a lot, and it's a big responsibility to kind of be a big personality and to have big responses. That's a big responsibility because you really have to keep focusing it in a particular direction. And I think that's why when we first started studying meditation, it was easier to just be like, oh no, I'm just going to go numb.
It's not happening.
You know, just turn it off and not feel rather than feel.
Get you in trouble.
And I think the more you allow yourself to feel so much love and so much joy. Yesterday we were teaching a class here, and I told Tristan today, how could I have been so happy to do that dance step? I don't even know that person all night long, the one filled with anxiety. Like, how could she, who
Where
was
did
somebody
she go?
who got so excited about elbow open the door, right?
Oh, that was a cool move. Grease lightning.
They're completely different people, and I think as you do energy work, as you meditate, as you kind of keep coming back to love, you do feel more because your feelings are your emotional guidance system. And so those feelings of almost panic, what they tell me is I'm not aligned with who I am.
Yep.
The anxiety tells me through feeling not aligned.
So it's a gift.
That knot in my stomach.
It's a gift.
That tells me, wait a minute, you're off. So I'm really embracing how my body, I mean,
barometer.
Somebody can say something to me, and if I'm not really aligned, I can just start shaking, like that.
So for those of us who have panic attacks and OCD and worry, we're all going to be very enlightened. We just use it into a 180-degree turn. No, seriously, those of us who have had crazy thoughts, tough stuff,
Everyone has.
Okay, but some of us feel like it's been pretty incessant. I know that I have had to learn to become an incessant optimist because my mind would worry me into the ground. I think I would look a lot older. I probably would have illnesses in my body. If the mind that I had as a child was still running the show, I would be a friggin' mess. Thank you for whatever put me soul on the path of energy work and meditation and healthy eating and being around amazing people, because my life...
I like that you did that when you said that.
No, seriously, you guys know what I'm talking about. I always make this joke, and I think this is hilarious. Like, there's no books in the bookstore in the personal development section on how to screw up your life in 3 simple steps, or the 5-step method to have an anxiety attack. We got that. That, like, anybody could write that book. We're really good at that. It's all the other ones that everybody's writing about. I think it's simple at this point. Remember who you are, align to love, and don't just do lip service to it. There's a song, the Bee Gees. How deep is your love, is your love? I don't have the melody.
How
Deep is your love, I really want to know. So,
'Cause we're
living in a world of dreams, making it all, and it all will end up. Okay, that song. So don't pay lip service
Sarah,
to that.
we need you.
We need some help. So I'm really serious about this. Like, you gotta mean that. When you say I'm choosing love, ask yourself, how deep is my freaking, am I really living that? Am I really holding to that? Or am I just saying that because it's a nice thing to say and I'm all, I'm not gonna go there.
I remember years and years ago, I was really studying Buddhism when I lived in New York City, and they talked about the crucial moment, and I've never ever forgotten it because I love this. It was like, things are going your way. It's just a normal day. No one's breaking into your house. You have money to pay your bills. Relationships are going good. Family's healthy. Like, those are not, you don't put those in the category of crucial moments. So you're like, I'm an optimist. I'm happy. I believe in God. My box of worries is on the doorstep.
Yay for me.
And then, someone breaks into your house, steals all your money. Your partner's cheating on you with someone, and your dog is sick. It's like things aren't going that way. Where's it just from
Where's
the
your love right
outside? And those moments when you get that little bit of pressure, that's the crucial moment. Who are you then?
Right.
And that's what I'm kind of looking at myself. Who am I right now when I'm being squeezed, right? Like when you squeeze a lemon, what if lemon juice comes out of it? It's because
that's what's inside.
That's what's
it
inside.
Puts some pressure on you and you freak out and react and get angry.
Yeah.
Guess what? That's what's inside.
Yeah, so in this situation, I feel like I got squeezed in so many ways, right? It's scary financially. It's scary. I have agreements in place with partners, and I feel like a liar. So it's scary for some relationships. Yeah. It's scary for my future. It's scary for my plans. It feels like my 5 years has been taken. So it was like, I'm good. Pressure, 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 pressure. And then it's just like, bleh!
Can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
And then the phoenix rises.
Yep.
Which leads us to an amazing opportunity that we were going to release tomorrow. But you know what? We'll push it out a little bit because we're open to expansion. Who knows what the universe is going to provide? There's already a door opening up that looks very promising. So we have been in our little setup here, filming for the last couple of weeks and editing. We've got these trainings that we've wanted to do for a long time to show people how we made the pivot years ago when we lost our school, we lost our salary, and we went through very similar scenario to what a lot of people are going through right now. Losing jobs, not knowing what's next, trying to figure out the pivot. Yeah. Now, we already know how to do it. Fortunately for us, other than the email system going down, we've been able to maintain our business revenue flow. And we've been serving and helping people with immune systems and teaching and doing all this cool stuff. And we realized, what could we do that would help our friends right now the most? Teach them what we know about how to be at our home and
Their
be
home.
Your home. You can come over here too if you want, but there's not that much
Wear a
room.
mask.
How can you do what we're doing? And from the simplest version of how we start, we actually didn't start simple. We wasted a ton of money buying all this fancy equipment. Tristan bought all this fancy equipment, spent all this money, put a ton of stuff on credit cards. You don't even want to know how in debt we got. Okay. So we got out of that, paid it all off.
It was over 6 figures.
It was a lot. Okay, but we were listening to all the teachers and mentors and people who were telling us how to do it because they knew Yeah, they wanted us to build an empire.
They wanted to sell us stuff.
They wanted us to automate everything and remove ourselves from the business so we could sell it. Okay, whatever. Those days are over. We know how to build community and connection and use this to serve.
Hey, I don't want to fungu people.
No. But there was some fungus.
Right, but
Oh, we're going to do that law of attraction stuff, honey.
I just want to say that's the
I'm
business.
saying to that part of
that's the business model that works for them, and
but
it wasn't
for me,
it wasn't us, and so we
it wasn't aligned.
We strayed away from who we are to try
Thank you
to
for
be
your
their
correction.
model.
Thank you. That was a good course correction. So now everything, different strokes for different folks. We needed to get more into trusting ourselves. We just didn't know what we didn't know, so we were green and we were learning. But now we know a lot of things, and we really understand the teacher and the healer and the trainer and the coach models, because that's who we are.
Right. Someone that knows how to do something or knows something, and they like to teach other people and share with other people.
Don wants to come over. Now, some of you know, because you've worked with us, how we roll and the vibe of what we do. It's very love-based, it's very low-tech, it's very friendly. And so we've put together some programs that we're about to release. Mm-hmm. We're going to invite people to come into our home virtually and come behind the set and learn all the different things. We're going to learn about confidence together, how to unlock charisma. There's a plethora of new stuff coming. So just heads up. So don't keep your eye on your inbox yet. We'll actually look for if you get an email from us, let us know. We're going to be very happy.
Yeah. So what's really interesting, when I was talking about the anxiety, the nerves, the speaking to someone and almost being another one of you, seeing yourself, especially if it had to be like on camera, not being able to just drop into being natural. And when we worked with, I think Donna Rios is here. Some of you guys, we had a 2 that became a 3-day virtual event called the Friendly Facebook Funnel, and they got to do some filming, and we got to see it and talk to people about how they feel frozen and stuck and all the things that people feel when they're trying to teach and share. And so it's just, we've had so many conversations about it, and I really think the key is you have to make that transition from wanting to be liked and caring what people think and being
a sneak peek.
Self-conscious into wanting to serve. You're showing us page?
No, I just noticed that I clicked a button by mistake and I saw all of that.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You guys want a sneak peek?
So the key is not from the outside in, and I think that's why so many people who have been trying to do things on camera for a while are still robotic and boring and phony, or use a teleprompter or feel awkward, is because it's from the outside in. So one of the programs that we're developing is our methods and our activators and the way that we boost. We're calling it boost confidence, but when you're in the moment, when you're aligned and in the moment, it's no longer an issue because you can't be insecure when you're fully aligned to who you are. So I think it's the only solution to feeling like you can be yourself and share. You can share qigong, you can share skincare, dog training, a lot of therapists, all the people that we work with. The camera is just the way to teach and share with your students, and getting you out of your head and into the sharing and out of self-consciousness and into consciousness. And we have like these 15 ways that we do that on repeat. We did it earlier today when we were filming to quickly get aligned into like a permission to play.
Very playful.
Because when you have to activate the humor and the fun and
the big why.
Yeah, the big why.
The joy behind it.
So that's we were calling that quantum confidence and
why is it
charisma.
Quantum?
It's quantum because the word charisma comes from the grace of God and cracked open by God, a crack where the light enters and leaves. So when someone is charismatic, so it's not enough to just have a skill. You have to have a skill and offer it in a way with a sense of confidence and charisma that the person you're talking to feels like, hey, she does know how to do that, and I feel like I know her and like her, and she really can help me. And when you're insecure and timid and closed off and not letting that light shine, that's not the response that you get. So quantum is being aligned to the best version of you. That's quantum charisma and quantum confidence, where it comes from another place. It's you being so fully you. It doesn't occur to you to be insecure.
Because so many of you that are still here have stayed through this entire presentation.
It's a presentation.
You will get a sneak peek in the back place. One of the things that's still working. You get a little peek. And Sabrina will tell you what we've got there for you. The next level confidence.
It's going to be a next level confidence kit, and inside of it is a program called Go Live with Confidence that really shows you exactly what you need to do before, during, and after you go live, so nothing does wrong. How to make sure the right picture is showing, the right thumbnail, how to write your headlines, how to know what to say and when to say it.
Yep. Then there's the quantum.
That's the one I was just talking about, the activators. Mm-hmm.
And then the simple studio setups is coming soon as well. So just wanted you to see there's been a lot of activity going on over here from behind the camera in this little at-home studio.
We did
all
that.
We're going to share it with you guys.
We make that artwork ourselves right here at home.
At-home artwork.
At-home artwork.
So there you have it. You know, that beautiful story, to be able to take those worries, put them in a little box, and put them on the doorstep of love. Even when it seems like everything's falling apart on the outside, that's love shaking things up for you so that you'll let go and surrender even more to who and what you truly are. Get into that receptive, aligned state. Trust that you are so powerful, you're so big, you're so beautiful. Things are happening for you, not against you, not to you. It's birthing you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And it doesn't have to be an empire.
No.
Right? It can be so simple. You know, I share my dance fitness class. I share my dance fitness class with the little group of people that I used to meet with face to face.
Yeah.
Right here for an hour in the morning, playing the music from a phone and filming from a phone. Sometimes playing the music from a laptop, filming from a phone. And the income comes in, and they're really grateful. And people are really grateful to know what you know, that special way that you have of sharing it. There might be 1,000 dog trainers, 1,000,000 dog trainers, but no one does it exactly like you, talks like you, feels like you, or is supposed to be your student. So don't let those false ideas of the market is crowded. That's just your ego trying to cop out of really fulfilling your own purpose and saying yes. And, you know, I encourage you to use this time like we are to reinvent yourself. Are you doing something, if you want to bring in income, are you doing something you don't love, that you're not just thrilled doing? Maybe this would be a great time, the easiest time ever, because everyone is online, to share something from your home.
So good. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for just holding space with us and all the love that you shared back.
Even if you're watching the replay.
Totally. And we're grateful that we are going through this and we can go through it together. That's why we're doing this. Our sessions, our shows, our whole company is so that we are one big family tribe doing the work together, serving the love, and making a real difference. So, all right, that's it.
Yeah, you gonna sing?
We are the world. We are the people. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start living. On the spot. Thanks so much.
I love that he does it. He couldn't do that if he wasn't quantumly confident and charismatic.
That's true. That is true. Much love, everybody. Until next time.
Happy Father's Day.
Bye.